Hello, and welcome to February's TBR. I had such a great reading month in January using my new 25 book system. So in February, we're going to go with the same kind of plan. This is my February TBR and also my Jenga game for picking books that I'm going to read off of these shelves back here. All right, so first, let's talk about Bean's Big Book Bash. For the Count of Monte Cristo, that was a great experience for me. War and Peace. That is February's book of the month. At this point, at the filming of this video, I haven't broken down the amount of chapters to be read, but you will find prompts every week. For Instagram, you're gonna find a link to some extra material that you can explore having to do with War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy on my Instagram account. War and Peace, this is Bean's Big Book Bash pick for February. Next, we have my next Agatha Christie, my next Miss Marple in the series. The second Miss Marple is The Body in the Library, and I'm very much looking forward to reading this. I loved Murder at the Vicarage. It was funny and astute and so quotable. I had no idea it would be so quotable. It felt so much more my jam than the Perot that I had read previously, or the standalone that I had read previously. I love Miss Marple, so I'm very much looking forward to The Body in the Library. Next is my two picks for the Read Harder Challenge. I will be reading Hamnet. Now, the copy of Hamnet that I have, I got from Book Outlet, and it is the Canadian release. And so it's called Hamnet and Judith. I think the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I don't mind that it's called Hamnet and Judith. It is the exact same text. It is the exact same book of Hamnet. So I will be reading Hamnet, and then I will also be reading Binti. This is just the first book in the trilogy. I know now that it's bound as one, but I received this as a gift for Galentine's Day last year, and I have yet to read it. So I will be reading Binti, and those are the two I'll be reading for that. Then I have my reread of the month, my favorites reread. Now, you'll find out that my reread for January, that book is no longer a favorite. However, I have reread this book many a time, and I know it will remain a favorite, and that is Wuthering Heights. I've never read this annotated edition of it, and so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm going to take it slow. I plan on taking the entire month to read through this. Very excited about it. Wuthering Heights reread. Then for my 52 ALA recommendations, you will see that one of them from last month was a DNF. One of them was favorite book of the year so far, second favorite book of the year. And one of them was really impactful, gut-wrenching. So glad I read it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, though. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm not. So you'll find out about that in my wrap-up. This month, for my 52 books, I have 3 that we'll see what happens. So we've got Claire of the Sea Light. I have no idea what it's about. Going into it blind. I've got The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Everybody talks about this, and I'm really late to this party. I understand that, but excited to read that. And Moonglow by Michael Chabon or Chabon. I don't know how to say it. I think it's Chabon. And Cavalier and Clay is a book that I read a long, long time ago, and it's one of my favorites that I've never reread, so I don't know if it's a favorite. But currently, it sits in my heart as a favorite, and I've read a couple of other things by this author that I have not liked. Cavalier and Clay has been the only thing that I have liked. I have not read this one, however, and so we will give it a go, and we'll see how we like it. I picked up a used copy from Better World Books, so it's no loss to me, really, if I don't enjoy it or if I DNF it, and I will have more books to put in little free libraries. So it's all a win-win to me in my head. Then for book group, it's my month to pick for my in real life book group, and I want us to read The Maid by Nita Prose. Then my Shakespeare read for the month, Troilus and Cressida. Then I have 4 birthday reads. So remember, bought myself a big birthday bash of books, and I want to make sure that I actually read them this year. So I am working them into every TBR every month, and I have 4 of them for this month. I'm going to read A House in the Country by Ruth Adam. Slim little volume about a couple that purchases an old house in the English countryside and fixes it up. Love it. I am going to try, but I'm totally willing to DNF because I don't know about the content, but I'm going to try Willa Cather's Sapphira and the Slave Girl. I just think that's such a beautiful cover, and I'm hoping the insides make me happy. I am really looking forward to this one. I'm going to read E.M. Forrester's Howard's End. And then finally, I have The Kingdoms by Natasha Pulley. This comes highly recommended, and in fact, I was influenced to purchase it. I got it from Book Outlet, but I was influenced to purchase it from Katie at Books and Things. It's one of her favorite books of last year, and I trust Katie's judgment. Go in with that one. And then, of course, I read Anne of Green Gables last month, and I intend to read it again this month. Reading it last month was such an enchantment. You'll hear all about it in my wrap-up. Really looking forward to reading it in February again. Then I have some pre-orders. Now, if you were here in my January TBR video, then you will know that I have pre-ordered books that I want to read this year, and I want to read them as they come in. So anything that I pre-ordered that arrived at the end of December or in January, I'm going to be reading in February. Anything that I ordered that will arrive in February, I'm going to read in March. So on and so forth, on through to the end of the year. However, I have nothing pre-ordered and do not intend at this moment to pre-order anything that will arrive after September. So October is my last month that I have books planned into my TBR that are pre-orders. I have 4 pre-orders that I will be reading this month, and 2 of them haven't arrived yet. I actually had 5, but one has been paused, and it's now not coming out until March. So I've moved that over, still have it pre-ordered, still want it, but I won't be reading that in February. At the end of December, A Precious Daughter had come to me as a pre-order, and I don't remember pre-ordering this, but I did. So I must have heard about it somewhere and just immediately pre-ordered it. It doesn't sound like something that I won't enjoy, but it is not something I remember, and I'm not sure I would have pre-ordered this for any other reason than an impulse pre-order. I don't know. It arrived at the end of December, and it definitely was a pre-order, and I don't remember. It would have been somebody British who talked about it, because it's from Pan Macmillan, and the UK price is the only price that's on the back, so I don't even think this is for sale in the States. I have no memory of who I would have seen talking about this. But you know what? I'm excited. I'm going to go with it. It's by Diane Allen. It says, when Ethan Postlethwaite, his wife Grace, and their daughter Amy announce that they will be leaving the family home in Yorkshire Dales, Grace's parents are heartbroken. Hoping for a new life prospecting for gold in the wilds of Canada, the young family say goodbye and set sail across the Atlantic in search of a brighter future. However, when they arrive, it becomes apparent that the riches they had been promised have already been plundered. Then the family is left devastated by the death of Grace, and so Ethan decides he has to take his daughter back to England. After arriving in Liverpool, Ethan and Amy soon find work in a dairy as cowkeepers, but Amy is restless and struggles to settle into yet another new life. And when a chance encounter at a cattle show ignites an old friendship, she must decide where her own future lies and what she must do in order to find happiness at last. So, I mean, it sounds like a book that I would read. It doesn't sound like a book that I would pre-order. So I don't know how that happened or where I heard about it, but if you are a person who told us about that book, told the world about that book, then maybe it was you. So you influenced. Woo! Now I have one that I know that I pre-ordered. So this is Dava Shastri's Last Day, and it is by Kirthana Rabasetti, and I am very excited to read this one. This is about a woman who is very powerful, high-powered woman, very wealthy, And she knows that she's dying, but she wants to know what people are going to say about her after she's gone. She wants the opportunity to read the obituaries and see the newscasts about her and know how was she honored in the end. And so she decides to announce that she has died before she's actually died. And this has a lot of unforeseen outcomes. At the time of filming, I have 2 other pre-orders that are coming, one in just 2 days and one next week, that I have not received yet, obviously, but they are coming and they're still set to come. And so I'm going to put pictures of them here. I am waiting for Valerie Bertinelli's new memoir, and I am waiting for Magnolia Palace, which I am very excited to read. I read all the books by that author, waiting on those. In addition to those, I need to pick 6 books to make 25 for my TBR. And we're gonna do that right here and right now. So let me get all these things out of the way first. All right, we're ready to go. L. Newer. It doesn't have to be newest. Newer. K. R. Free choice. V. I don't know if I have anything that fits V. I'm going to replace this one, which I picked for K, for Kim Wilkins, Daughters of the Storm. I'm actually going to replace it with this one, Majesty by Catherine McGee, for K. So let's go ahead and talk about these books. One last time, very quickly, I will run them through for you and we'll call it good and get to reading. So here we go. For the Jenga game, I picked 6, and I'm really happy with the 6 that I picked. I picked, for the letter K, I picked Catherine McGee, Majesty, American Royals. Is this the first book? No, this is the second book. I have both of them. I'm going to read the first book. I just happened to accidentally grab book number 2. But I'm going to read the first book for this series. And then for the letter V, I only had 3 options to choose from, 2 of which were nonfiction and this one fiction book. And so I went with the fiction book, and I didn't look for authors that started with V, although I'm certain that I have them. I just went with this one. Virgin's Lover by Philippa Gregory. I'm not sure, I mean, I know Philippa Gregory's writing, but I'm not sure which story this is telling. Looks like maybe Elizabeth I and Dudley, I think, just from that quick skim at the back. This Green and Pleasant Land. Then for the R tile, I picked Royal Wedding, which is a book that I started in 2015. I got it because I love Princess Diaries series, and this was new in 2015, the summer of 2015. It had just been released, and I was going through a move, and I wanted something lighthearted, full of characters that I already knew and that I loved to read to get me through that move. It was a very important move, but it was also a heartbreaking move because I was really established where I was moving from. It was time to go, but still you're sad, right? And so I wanted something uplifting and, you know, something helpful for reading. So I picked this up and started reading it and was really enjoying it and never finished it. So gonna start at the beginning again and actually read that one. And then I picked up The Arctic Fury, which I'm very excited about. Then I have Long Lost. This is a middle grade by Jacqueline West. It says, they would share the lie, half and half. They would keep yet another secret safely between them. One of them the lock, and one of them the key. And then on the inside it says, once there were two sisters who did everything together, but only one of them disappeared. Just sounds great. Just sounds great. Then, of course, as you've already seen, for Read Harder, I will be reading Binti and Hamnet. For Agatha Christie, The Body in the Library. For Bean's Big Book Bash, War and Peace. For my birthday reread, Wuthering Heights. For a birthday book haul, The Kingdoms. For 52 books that I want to read, there's another one in here somewhere. For 52 books from recommended by ALA, I'm going to be reading Moonglow, Claire of the Sea Light, and The Water Dancer. For a pre-order, I will be reading Dava Shastri's Last Day, A Precious Daughter, the new one, the new memoir by Valerie Bertinelli, and the new Fiona Davis, Magnolia Palace, I believe. For birthday book haul, I will be reading A House in the Country, and Sapphira the Slave Girl, and Howard's End. For Shakespeare, I will be reading Troilus and Cressida. I will be rereading Anne of Green Gables. And for my In Real Life book club, The Maid. I thought that I was excited about my January TBR pile. I was a little overwhelmed by it, but I was excited. And I am even more excited about this one. Definitely books that I have been wanting to read, books that really sound like the kinds of books that I like to read. And there are some stretches on here as well. But I am very excited about this stack. And I know February is a shorter month, and I've still picked a hefty amount of books. I am really happy with this stack, and I can't wait to wrap it up for you at the end of February. In the meantime, happy reading. I will see you later, and thanks for watching.